It is Tuesday, April 13. Welcome to CGN News. The World Bank on Monday said it is providing $20 million to support St Vincent as it responds to the crisis posed by the volcano eruption. The institute says the funds are being disbursed from a contingent credit line approved in June 2020. It is designed to support recovery efforts from disasters triggered by natural hazards or a public health emergency. The explosive eruption began last Friday and has required the evacuation of 20,000 people from high-risk zones. Some persons have moved to other parts of St Vincent and surrounding countries. The falling ash is causing air quality concerns and interruptions in electricity and water supply. Trinidad and Tobago will be deploying soldiers to St Vincent from today as the island continues to deal with the explosive eruptions of volcano. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management has been coordinating efforts to collect supplies to be transported to the island today and tomorrow. They will seek to repatriate Trinidad and Tobago nationals today and are currently making such arrangements along with the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs. The eruption has resulted in several people having to be evacuated to Caribbean islands, including St. Lucia and Barbados. The CARICOM Private Sector Organization, CPSO, says shipments have left member states for St. Vincent with contributions to assist those affected by the ongoing eruption of the volcano. It said the private sector also intends to develop a master list which will allow it to track relief efforts to better coordinate support. In a statement, the organization said along with the Caribbean Manufacturers Association and the private sector throughout the region, it stands in solidarity with the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines during this period. The CPSO said it will require sustained effort to assist St. Vincent and the Grenadines on its road to recovery. Bermuda government officials say the country will go back into lockdown for at least 7 days starting today. This after 118 people tested positive over the weekend. Premier David Burt revealed at a Zoom press briefing on Sunday that he had tested positive for COVID and said he had no symptoms as he had been vaccinated. Burt said that it was clear the rate of spread is far more advanced than believed and the regulations put in place have not been enough to slow it down. Burt is the fourth Caribbean leader to have tested positive for the virus. The Bahamas police Monday warned people against obtaining fake coronavirus tests, indicating also that several people have recently been arrested and charged. Police Commissioner Paul Roll said law enforcement authorities are advising all citizens, residents and visitors to go through the correct procedures when obtaining such documentation. The authorities warned that a person convicted of obtaining a false COVID-19 test faces a fine of up to $2,000 or up to 2 years in prison or both. A magistrate last week sentenced a 21-year-old mother to 6 months in prison after she presented a false doctor's hospital COVID-19 test result when she attempted to travel last week. Reports are that the 75,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine which Jamaica received last Thursday under the African Medical Supply Platform will expire today, Tuesday. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bissessar-McKenzie told RJR News that 50% of the doses have been used. She said the Health Ministry is hoping to administer the remaining doses today. The vaccines currently have a shelf life of 6 months. However, Bissessar-McKenzie said stability studies have been done that have looked at extending the shelf life for 9 months. She says the government is awaiting the official word and approval for the extension of the shelf life. The chief medical officer said some vaccination sites will be opened until 8 p.m. today. Jamaica's opposition People's National Party is rejecting the attempt by the government to use expired COVID-19 vaccines. It is calling for Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton not to pursue any plan to seek authorization from the World Health Organization and the AstraZeneca manufacturers for use after the April 13 expiry date. Spokesperson on health Dr. Maurice Guy pointed out that the European Medical Agency on January 29, 2021 specifically warned against the use of coronavirus vaccines after expiry dates. Guy says that due to the nature of formulations in drugs, they are not to be used after expiration, and this regime is even stricter for vaccines. He said there already is vaccine hesitancy in Jamaica, and the government's handling of this issue will only serve to heighten skepticism. U.S. health authorities are calling for a pause in the use of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine after reports of extremely rare blood clotting cases. The Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, said it was acting out of an abundance of caution. It said 6 cases of severe blood clotting had been detected in more than 6.8 million doses of the vaccine. The recommendation follows similar cases in the AstraZeneca vaccine, which has prompted some curbs in its use. The FDA said it and the CDC were reviewing 6 reported U.S. cases of a rare and severe type of blood clot in individuals after receiving the vaccine. It said these adverse events appear to be extremely rare. China has warned the United States not to play with fire on Taiwan issues. This after the State Department updated its guidelines easing restrictions on meetings between U.S. officials and their counterparts from the island, which Beijing claims as its own. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman urged the U.S. not to send wrong signals to Taiwan independence forces so as not to subversively influence and damage Sino-U.S. relations and peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. Taiwan is China's most sensitive territorial and diplomatic issue and a regular source of friction between Washington and Beijing. And finally, the BBC has received 100,000 complaints from members of the public over its coverage of the Duke of Edinburgh's death, according to the Sun newspaper. The corporation cleared its schedules to cover the news when Prince Philip died on Friday at the age of 99. EastEnders and the MasterChef final were replaced by news programs, while BBC 4 was taken off air completely. The BBC said, quote, "We are proud of our coverage and the role we play during moments of national significance," end quote. However, it declined to confirm the number of complaints it received. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.